Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to new video, new tutorial. Today we're gonna talk about the reverb, okay? We're gonna see how we can make it to sound more cleaner, okay? To make it sound tight, but at the same time make it sound huge, because that's the main reason on why we use reverb, okay? So let me put my earpods. Okay, here I loaded, okay, on a snare. And two different synths, but we're gonna go on this part later, okay? So first of all, this snare is we're gonna link it to a bus, okay? So you can see that it doesn't really matter if you have it on a bus or no. So right click here, route to this track only. So the sound of this channel is going through this cable, okay? Just imagine as it is a cable to this one. But you're also going to send it to a send, okay, right here. Left click, right click, and reset, okay? We have here another mixer channel. And at this moment, this snare is going to this channel, to this one, okay? So we're going to have two dry signals. So it's going to create a rare weird noise, okay? But in this channel, what we're going to do is apply the reverb, okay? I'm using this one because I like it a lot. I think it's one of the best out there. I'm gonna mess a bit. So I put a lot of decay so you can see the effect that I'm going to apply, okay? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is first, here on the bus, I'm going to load a peak controller, and here on the reverb, okay, I'm going to load a compressor. Let me detach this. Okay, so now you can use a compressor, the frequency balance, any limiter. Well, you can use anything, okay? But for this trick, I'm going to use the compressor. Right click on the gain, link to controller, and here in the internal controller, we're going to link it to this peak controller, okay? So the snare one, and we're gonna choose the peak option. On the mapping formula, we're going to invert it and accept. So now what we have to do is to move this bass up because it increases a lot the gain. So let's move until we have a 0.
6.5 hours later.
Okay, so now what it's going to do is every time that the snare hits, the reverb, well, this peak controller is going to send the info to the compressor, and here on the gain is going to decrease the volume, okay? It's going to decrease the gain. So it will make the reverb to go out. And then when the snare stops, it's going to come back. So it's like a sidechain, okay? If we make it more exaggerated, compare the difference. Why do we want this? Because this way you have the dry snare, okay, and then you have the reverb. Okay, this is really exaggerated. We have to maybe do it like this. Okay, just a bit, okay. But this way you have the dry signal, the snare doesn't lose the punch, okay, it's the dry signal first, and then you apply the reverb, okay, because it also creates a more natural sound, because when you, for example, talk in a room or you clap, you hear the dry signal, and later you hear the reverb, okay? But this way you also, apart from creating a more natural reverb, you have a cleaner sound, you know? We can do the same with, for example, melodies. Okay, I have this melody here I took from a sample pack. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to send it also to this bus, these two, this for the next thing. We're going to do the same. I'm gonna use the same Reverb here, just a big controller. Okay, and here we're gonna have, for this time I'm gonna use the free balance. Okay, so now right click into controller, choose the synth one. Okay, option pick, invert it, accept, and now they're the same, more or less. Let me see, well, a bit less. Okay, so now if we exaggerate it, we're gonna see the same effect of before. Sorry. There's no reverb. Sorry, I forgot to link it. Okay. So now without this effect, we have just the sound, the synth of the and the reverb. Mix it a bit. Okay, now that it's mixed, we can apply this effect. So if we exaggerate it, sorry, you're gonna hear just the sound mainly. It's like there is no reverb, and then when I stop the sound, it comes back the reverb. Okay. Okay, so just tweak a bit. Again, see the difference. At this moment, what we have is the dry signal and then the reverb. Okay, so you have a cleaner melody, because there is no reverb, making it to sound washed out. For example, if we don't use this technique, when this second note is playing, it has the reverb of the first note. Okay. So what is gonna happen is the attack of this second note is gonna you're not gonna hear it mainly, okay? Because the reverb is gonna be on top of it. So you're not gonna have the same attack. But using this technique, you're gonna have the attack in every note, in every part of the melody, but you're also gonna have the reverb, okay? So this is one of the tricks I use on all my tracks. I think is super good trick. And for this second trick that I watched in a Kashmir tutorial, I'm going to use this chord progression, okay? And I'm gonna if you press Alt U, you're gonna chop the melody. Okay, like that. And I don't like this. I'm gonna make it like this. Okay. Now Control A, and I'm gonna make it a bit shorter. Okay. So now let's do the same. Click here. We have link it to the bus, link to the reverb. Okay. I'm gonna mute this for now. And what I want to do, what I want to explain you is that when we change the chord, okay, at this point right here, when this first part of the chord is playing, is gonna have the reverb of the previous chord. Okay, so you're gonna have the sound, the reverb of one chord and the sound of the other one. Okay, so it's gonna create like a weird combination. So what can we do? Well, I'm going to load a new beauty balance here. Okay, I'm going to create automation clip, and also for the mix of the reverb. I'm going to move a bit this, tools, last tweak, create automation clip. So now we have the automation of both things. And what I want to do is I'm going to decrease the mix of the reverb at the beginning of every note, okay, every chord. But now at this point that we don't have reverb, what happens is that as we don't have reverb in this channel, okay, we're gonna have the dry signal of the synth. So we're gonna have again two dry signals, and they are going to fight. So for this reason, I loaded here the free to balance, because I'm going to make the same a bit longer, okay? So at this point there is no sound, and when the reverb comes in, the sound comes, but just with the reverb, you know, you're not gonna have two dry signals. So I'm going to cut in every note.
Day 2. Day 3. Day 4.
Okay, I'm gonna paste this thing I did, because I'm going to use the same one on every note.
One eternity later.
Okay, so now what's going to happen is that when this part is playing, it's going to create a reverb, okay? But when it comes to this point, the reverb is going to get eliminated, okay? And it's going to create a new one, okay? Because we are decreasing the mix and increasing it again. So at this point, when we change the chord, we're not gonna have two chords reverbs playing at the same time, okay? So at this point we're gonna have only the reverb of this chord and not of this one. If we mute the bass, we're gonna hear the reverb, okay? This is how it was before. Okay, we have the two, at this point we have two different reverbs playing at the same time. Well, not different reverbs, but different chords on the reverb. If we put this, you're gonna hear like the volume going down so fast in every point we want. But now, at this point, we only have this reverb, okay? It's like you start from here, not from here, okay? So you're gonna have a lot cleaner reverb sound if we put the dry signal and without the effect. Maybe you don't hear the difference, okay? You have to be really concentrated. But now the reverb is really a lot cleaner than what it was before, okay? Because every time it hits a new note, a new MIDI section, you're going to create a new reverb without the previous reverb, okay? So you're going to create a lot cleaner one. So guys, this is it. If you have any question about reverb things, just leave it in the comments, okay? If you have any suggestions on new tutorials, things that you want me to explain, just leave it in the comments, okay? It will be awesome if you press that like button, if you subscribe, so you don't miss any tutorial. And guys, see you in the next video.